everybody? What up, world? Welcome to episode 68.
That's good.
Episode 68 of the Fanatics Sports Podcast. I'm your man, Bloka. I got my man G here. We're excited about having him here today. It's a big day for a couple reasons. Number one, and most importantly, today is my birthday. So I appreciate it. 41 today.
Okay. Blessed.
One day I'm gonna be I'm actually gonna grow up and be and mature. That ain't this week, but soon. But most importantly, SoE Sportz. Man, we've been very excited to have you. I said it a little bit ago. I'll say it again on air, maybe 4 more times in the next 10 minutes, man. But I can't appreciate you. Can't say thank you enough for you joining us, bro. It's really a pleasure to have you on the show with us today. So we're gonna start with our fandom story, but before we go there, tell me how you came up with the name SoE Sportz.
At first, I was trying to create something, so I was like, man, I love sports. So at first it was the long sports over everything.
Right.
You spell it out, but I was like, man, that's too long, man. That's I don't think people it ain't catchy enough, so I had to shorten it. So I was like, okay. SoE Sportz is basically the SoE is basically sports over everything. It's just a shorter way of saying it without making the name long.
I kind of figured that's what it was, which is why I titled this episode "Fanatics Over Everything." I kind of felt like I was in the right direction with that. So man, again, and that was the first. Like, I think that's your pinned video on TikTok is that, man, we talking sports. And so we're not talking favorites. We're not talking, these hot takes, man. We're talking real sports, and everything you posted since then has been legit sports. And so, man, I appreciate that in a world where the internet, it feels like Dave Chappelle said this, the internet feels like it requires you to be negative and to find the hot take and to say the off the wall thing. That's what gets the most looks. And I saw this the other day, right? So this guy, the video is a guy making a simple bounce pass. He catches it off the guy receives it on the box, throws it in off the backboard, it goes in. Right? That doesn't sound that fancy, but the caption says, "Old timers think this is the only way to play basketball." And so then me and 70,000 other people that my age said, "You saw the ball go in the goal? It works," right? And then boom, it hit me. These people just put that caption because they wanted you to feel inflamed, and you're gonna comment. Man, it worked to a T. 62,000 likes later, they got exactly what they wanted, which was a lot of attention for a very basic video. And so, and that's what the internet is to me today, is tons of just, off the wall, way too much. Like, man, ain't no way you really believe that half of that horse hockey you saying, right? But that's what the internet is. So I appreciate people like you who come, they shoot it straight. Now, if you got a hot take, if your take is legit and it's genuine, you can believe it. Obviously, it is what it is. But at the same time, man, like we ain't got to be fishing for all this extra stuff. We can just give you the straight and let that be, the fun part of the show. So, man, I out of the gate, the first thing I noticed, and I really appreciated that, was straightforward talk, man. I love that. I love that you can just shoot it to each other straight. So before we get started, tell everybody, because I know you're on a lot of platforms, tell everybody where they can find you and what they expect from you.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm trying to get my YouTube set up. I'm in the process trying to get that set up. But yeah, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And I'm I just basically talk NBA, NFL. So I do highlights, and I also give you my opinions. It's a little bit of both. And I show my face. When I first started, I didn't show my face as much. I was doing voiceovers. But I may still get back to that. But I don't know. I just like the live recording and just showing your face. It feels more like real. It don't feel like gimmicky. I could just be myself. You know what I'm saying? I want people to, this is my brand. I want to, people to know, like, hey, I'm the face of it. Sometimes you could you could get put to the back burner if you just do voiceovers and highlights all day. They may not know how does this guy look like, or you know what I'm saying, where he's from.
Yeah, it helps you connect with your fan base. That's one of the things I realized. So I started. So this show started from. To be honest, so I live in Baton Rouge now. I'm originally from Arkansas, and so I live in Baton Rouge, and so I did play-by-play forever while I was in Northwest Arkansas, and then I moved down here during COVID, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to continue doing the play-by-play and stuff just yet. And so the podcast was a way for me to continue to talk sports and work and that sort of thing. But one of the things I learned during play-by-play is the importance of getting on camera, connecting with the people. So, like you said, they want to know you as much as they want to know the sports, right? They can go to ESPN to get the score and the highlights, but you're gonna give them something that they're not gonna get on ESPN. So
I try to give like a little bit of balance.
Yeah, love that, man, and some great highlights from all the stuff I've seen, man. Again, definitely kudos to you and the work you've done, man. Outstanding job. So, before we start, for everybody that's watched us for the last 67 episodes, man. So I call this Fanatic Sports because Fanatic is a synonym of crazy, or as we like to say around here, passionate. And so, and that's the beauty of sports, so you can be passionate. And so we love to hear everybody's fandom story. So, any level, high school, college, pee-wee, pros, any sport, football, baseball, cricket, you name it, man. Whatever sport you want to pick, tell us how you became a fan of your favorite team.
Okay, so I like NBA, NFL. It's a weird story. I grew up watching NBA, wrestling, cartoons. So when I met my friend Wendy, I call him Wemula, in middle school, he asked me if I play Madden. So I'm like, nah, not really. He's like, man, you gotta play it. So I started playing Madden, like Madden 07, 08 on the 360. So I started playing with the Rams. I think they had Sean Alexander on the cover.
Okay, yeah, that was like 07. That was 07, 06, 07.
So I play with the Rams. I'm a kid. It's summertime. He got nothing to do. So I was just spamming Madden. I was playing. I was like, man, I fell in love with it. And one day I picked the Carolina Panthers. And I'm like, man, they had a squad. Julius Peppers, D'Angelo Williams, even Stepter Homes, Steve Smith. I'm like, and from there, I just fell in love with the Carolina Panthers. I've been a fan of them since 2008, going to 2009. Hey. You know what I'm saying? When we went 2015, 2010, we won 2009, I think, 2009. I watched the 08 playoff game when we played the Cardinals. They beat us. I think Jake Delhomme had 5 interceptions.
Yeah, I remember. Okay. I do remember this game. Hey, so first of all, shout out to you. I'm gonna tell you something else I love, and this is why I love these fan stories, right? So, I'm a one team guy, and me personally, I don't encourage loyalty. I will tell you that, but I don't go and it's like, okay, well, this is my NFC, my AFC. I'm riding. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm riding with the Steelers. We've been 8-8 way too long. We've been 9-7 way too long. And you know what I mean? That. God bless Mike Tomlin, man. He did something special during it, without having to lose a season. And some of them seasons should have been losing seasons. But at the end of the day, I stick with the Steelers. I'm a Steelers fan. I don't like Mike. What's his name? I'm not excited about him, but whatever. I'm a Steelers fan. I appreciate people who jump on, and not when they just great. Jump on when they good, and you stick through the bad. And y'all done had, man, look, the Panthers done had some tough times, but hey, 2025 NFC South champions, and that make me even more happy because down here in Louisiana, these Saints fans is, I hope.
They beat us twice, man. That second game was rigged, man.
Hey, man, look, listen, I'm gonna tell you now that. Some of my church members might be watching, and they just gonna have to deal with it because the Saints fans deserve that L because they should have took Shador instead of Shuck or whoever they took.
Shuck kind of shocked me a little bit.
Yeah, he came out. He was actually pretty impressive. And so, you know what? I tell you what. Let's start right there. With the NFC South, they are. This is gonna be a dog fight again, and it's been a dog fight for I feel like the last 8 or 10 years, where it's just It's a lot of scrappy teams. Yeah, the Bucks have been, have won in these last like 5 or 6 years. The Bucks have won more conference or division championships than anybody else. But right now, I mean, it's anybody's ball game. And every year from the Saints to the Bucks, the Falcons got all the talent in the world, right? And you guys are up and coming. The Panthers are up and coming in that way. So for me, like the NFC South is so intriguing because there is, literally if you said any one of the 4 teams, I could give you a reason why any one of them 4 teams could win this division. Going without question. There's so much parity in the NFC South. Talk to me about what you see and you like in the NFC South.
Let me see. The Bucks, they won the division. They've been running the division for the past 4 or 5 years. Until we won this year. They got some talent. I don't know what they're gonna do with Mike Evans. I think their defense is a little off this year. Baker Mayfield, he struggled a little bit down late, but Baker Mayfield got heart though. He gonna throw it. Yeah. That's for sure. He definitely gonna. If he gonna do that, he gonna sling that thing. Yeah. Atlanta, like you say, Atlanta got a lot of young talent. Bijan, Drake London. What's the pass rushers they just drafted? Young. They got some talent, but I think they need a quarterback right now.
You don't like Penix?
He all right. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but I haven't seen nothing too crazy. He has some splashes. Don't get me wrong, he has some flashes, but he's hurt. So I mean, I don't know. Unless he comes back fully healthy.
Which is why it intrigues me that they let Kirk Cousins walk, considering that you need a solid backup right now. Yeah. But at the price they paying them, I kind of get it. It's expensive what they paying him for, so it makes sense. What about the Saints? Anything you seen? I know we were talking about Tyler Shuck. I was pleasantly surprised with how good he came out and played, and that's kind of to be expected with their head coach, Kellen. I almost called him Kellen Winslow. Kellen Moore at the head coach of the Saints. Man, that's a good offensive mind right there. And when you get any kind of talent, I think they're gonna be all right.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. They beat us twice. We're gonna give them the belt to the Saints next season. I'm not worried about that. We're gonna give them a belt. But they got a stingy defense. I like the head coach. They got like him, Tyler Shuck. Let's see what he can do. Chris Olave.
Yeah,
they need some more weapons. They need more weapons.
It's good to see him. It's good to see Olave back on the field. The past couple seasons, he's been just. It seemed like he was just kind of mailing it in. He wasn't really putting in the work that we had seen him at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of his career. So it was kind of interesting to see him, take that step back into playing more regularly and being productive as well. What about the rest of the league? Anybody? I know it's early. I know we are crazy early. Anybody in the league you think that you feel like could challenge the Seahawks as Super Bowl champions this year or in the season coming up?
Maybe Rams. They solid. I think I just seen some. They just traded for Trent McDuffie. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah.
They're working out that the kinks of that trade right now, and they're going to give up their first round pick to do it. I thought that was an interesting thought pattern. Their GM over there in LA is not interested in developing anybody, which is ironic because even still, they still got Brandon Fisk, Jared Verse, and there was one more, Kobe Brown. These guys are playmakers defensively, and they still even without their first round, man, they're making moves. The NFC West, that's another division that's going to be. It could be a toss-up, man. The 49ers, Kyle Shanahan is a mastermind. Now, I'll tell you, he can't win a Super Bowl, but man, he'll get you there, and his offense is gonna look good in the process, man. I was I was so look. I know they've got Mike Shanahan's got a daughter as well, Rachel, I think it is, or something, or whatever her name is. I'd probably try her out at least as a quarterbacks coach, because if Kyle's this good and Mike was good at offense, it must be the whole family. It must be the genes, man. But the 49ers have a squad. Obviously the Seahawks. Now I think it's weird they're gonna let Kenneth Walker test out free agency after he was the entire offense for at least the Super Bowl. But anybody in the know, I mean, he put up big yards all season. I'm not sure. I like Zach Charbonnet. I thought he was a really good running back in Michigan. I thought he was a good running back at UCLA as well. But I wouldn't put my whole offense on Charbonnet like that. They must know something. Shout out to the comment section. Shout out to Instagram. They got kind of a late start because I ain't gonna lie to you. I forgot to press go live as soon as I did with the rest of it. But definitely shout out to the comment section and Instagram. Some folks are talking right now. Sly Fontenot says that he was injured every season. He's talking about Chris Olave. He's down here in Louisiana. Shout out to him, man. That's my son's friend. So we must be doing something right if the youngsters is watching us, bro.
My best friend lives in New Orleans. It's crazy.
Oh man, yeah. Listen, have you been over here?
Yeah. I've been to New Orleans like 4 or 5 times already.
Oh, it's wild over here, bro. But the food is good, so we'll make it work. We'll definitely make it work. Yeah, definitely that, man. But look, if you get the chance, man, I haven't been to a football game yet. But I've been to basketball down here as well. So I'm a Clippers fan in basketball. That's how we started talking. Because I feel like I think you posted something about the Lakers, and I just was like, man, go Clippers. The Lakers they should be a dark horse to win this tournament, man. They should be a dark horse to make it out of the West. And with the way the West is beating up on each other in the NBA, man, do you feel like would you be able to pick somebody, just the conference championship? I'm not even saying who's going to win and go to the finals. Who would you put in the Western Conference Championship right now?
I'm going to say OKC and Nuggets.
You like the Nuggets?
I want to say Spurs, but that playoff experience might catch up to them. Maybe round 2, round 1, maybe.
That's a good point, because my thought was actually the Spurs. I could see a spot where the Spurs might actually knock the Thunder out of the playoffs. I think the way it's gonna go. Let me pull up the standings.
That's bold.
Now, like I said, I'm not a hot take guy, but if the numbers show it, and the Spurs have owned the Thunder so far this season, but when I think about that, man, and look, they got that alien playing for them, bro, and they got great guard play, which is something you'll definitely need.
But playoff, different ball game.
Okay, you're right about that. And look, Chet, I think in the playoffs, Chet would be healthy, and I could see Chet really fighting for it. I don't know if he could really stop Wemby, but he could definitely make it hard on him. Definitely could make it hard on him, and that's what we want.
They can beat you with their bench.
So and actually So see, and they're deep too, and then they added Jared McCain to this mix. So we're talking about, and look, we're talking about number 1 and number 2 in the West, the Spurs and the Thunder. Surprisingly enough, the Rockets at number 3, and I think this is the thing about the West that's so crazy. I mean, 1 through 9, without doubt. The Clippers are 9, the Warriors are 8. The Suns are a good team. The Lakers are a dark horse. The Nuggets are a great team. The Timberwolves, I feel like, could be really good if they can get their mojo going by the end of the season. I mean, literally 1 through 9. I think if I had to count the contenders 1 through 9, I say the Thunder, Spurs, and Nuggets are obviously a lock. I think the Lakers could be a contender. I like the Rockets this year to be a contender. So, I mean, what you're looking at in the West is unreal. Now, I know you down in as Rick Ross calls it, the MIAO. Are you a Heat fan?
Nah. I got love for them. Cause my brother,
all right.
My oldest brother, a diehard Heat fan. So I grew up with the Heat. So I'm not a diehard Heat fan, but I got love for them.
Okay. So who's your basketball team?
Right now, I don't have one right now.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, back then I grew up a Steve Francis fan. And
okay.
I was the first person to get me into basketball. Then I was mostly a fan of him. I was not really a fan of the Houston Rockets. I'm more a fan of him. Then I became a fan of the New Jersey Nets, like middle school.
Okay. So what? Yeah, the championship years. Those were such interesting championship years for me, because nobody believed they had a chance to actually win a championship, but they were literally the best team in the East at those couple years that they went. I want to say it was 2-3 years where they went. And I mean, I know when they played they got by the Pacers one year. I mean, we're talking about a really impressive team. J. Kidd, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, a scary team, man. I want to say they had Lonzo Mourning at one point, and I mean, just a really good team. And so I, from that standpoint, man, like thinking about that team, and this is something interesting about basketball is, there's no helmets, right? So, you see faces, you learn faces, and so you connect with players. I know. So the way I became a Clippers fan was that when LeBron went back to Cleveland, I disagree with him going back to Cleveland, man. The stuff Dan Gilbert said about him, and I know Dan Gilbert was just trying to like run with his family, with his fans and, be supportive of them. But man, he said some salacious things about LeBron, and I didn't want to forgive Dan Gilbert for it. I kind of still don't. Like, man, like this is a business. And more importantly, I don't know if you know this, right? So Dan Gilbert passed up, him and the GM passed up on the chance to acquire prime Amari Stoudemire. You remember Amari Stoudemire was a 25-10 guy in Phoenix with Steve Nash. So Steve Nash's career was coming to an end. They were breaking up that Phoenix team, and so they're getting ready to trade. They got Amari Stoudemire as a trade option, or I think he might have been a sign and trade or something like that. But he was a commodity that they should have went after. All Phoenix asked for in return for Amari Stoudemire was a first round and J.J. Hickson. Now, J.J. Hickson was a double-double guy. 12 and 10 for like the first few years he played with LeBron. But like J.J. Hickson, Amari Stoudemire. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'll go to the phone and say, send it.
Yeah, I'll send you a second first round for him. Come on, let's go. Man, because even though he fizzled out in New York, Stoudemire was still like 25 and 12 or 25 and 10 for the first like few years till he got hurt. I'll tell you another thing, just thinking about it. Cleveland had an opportunity to offer Joe Johnson when he left Phoenix. So Joe Johnson was a restricted free agent, and he had already asked Phoenix to not match not match whoever was offering him because he wanted to go be the man. Now it wasn't totally on Dan Gilbert because again, Joe Johnson wanted to be the man. But they offered 67, or did they offer 70 million for 5 years? And so they painted this picture that Joe Johnson would come to Cleveland and be on LeBron's team instead of being equals with LeBron. Atlanta said that we're going to beat Cleveland and you'll be the man to do it. Now they did get the Hawks they put together a team. They won a couple first seeds. They won 60 games a couple times. I don't know if you remember that year that they had 4 starters in the All-Star. Corver, Horford, Corver, Horford, Josh Smith, and Joe Johnson. I think were the 4 that were all in the All-Star game together. But if you remember, LeBron did them 5-1, did them in 5. You know what I mean? Like I think Gilbert should have offered that 70 or offered 72 or whatever it would have took to get Joe Johnson there. That's something I think a lot about. But yeah, Dan Gilbert, man, Dan Gilbert can't do nothing right in my eyes, and so for me, like I couldn't understand why LeBron wanted to go back there, but I guess it's your hometown, and it really meant something to him. And he did what he said he wanted to do, which is set out to do, which is win the championship. But in the process, I said, look, I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm going to be a Clippers fan. And at that same time was Lob City. So Doc Rivers had just got there, and they assigned J.J. Redick, and they had a stretch guy to go. The Clippers were a fun team to watch for a while, if you remember, with the Lob City. So
that's how you became a fan?
Yes, sir. That's how I became a Clippers fan. I'm still a Clippers fan. It's been some tough times. It's been some ugly times for us, but it's a part of the game for me, man. I enjoy watching us play still. I would look
to come out the West, the Paul George era.
That was look. So I was like I said, part of the reason that I got there was because I wanted to be a fan was because they got rid of Vinny Del Negro and they brought in Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers had just won a ring maybe 5 years earlier with the Celtics and had been to a couple finals, and so you put them with Chris Paul and that whole Lob City, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and then you add a stretch play like a stretcher. A floor stretcher like J.J. Redick and a couple of the pieces that they added, they're on the right path to something good. And we won 50 or 60 games. We were a good team. Yeah, look, man, we had a squad for a couple years. But when I lost myself with Doc Rivers was the 2020 season, the bubble season. Yeah. And I know, look, man, I talk with a bunch of my friends. They say it all the time, like, hey, man, coaches don't, shoot the baskets. But and I'll give you my rebuttal to that is this. You remember Game 5 of the 2013 finals when was Game 5 or Game 6? Game 5, D Wade goes ice cold for 2 games. He can't make a bucket. He's settling for jump shots. He's not really getting he's not playing his game. Game 6, the first 5 plays Eric Spoelstra calls with the idea of getting D Wade into the paint where he can get easy buckets. They won that game no, they didn't. The Game 5. This was Game 5 where they did this. And this what got them back into the series. And then you remember Game 6 where Ray Allen catches the 3 and knocks it down to force Game 7. But Game 5, this is where Dwayne Wade turns it back on. And that's because Spoelstra was smart enough to call plays to get him going. For 3 games, we had a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter and midway through the fourth quarter, and we blew it to the Nuggets every time. A 3-1 lead, you got to win 1 of 3 games that you have double digits in, and you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't finish the deal. And the worst part, the part that frustrated me the most about this was, all right, look. So if you remember the bubble season, Steph was hurt. I think this was right after KD got hurt and went to the Nets. Steph had tore his Achilles. No, Steph was by himself. Clay tore his Achilles. So it's just Clay. It's just Steph and Draymond and a cast of characters with the Warriors. So we got a championship window. We had beat the Lakers 3 out of the 5 or 6 games that we played, 3-4 games that the Clippers had played the Lakers. We beat them, and they had only beat us like from 2018 to 2020. I think they only beat us like 3 times or something like crazy like that. I know my boy Blue. He's a Lakers fan. He gonna be upset when he see this. But man, we were set. All we had to do was get past the team we were up 3-1 against. And Doc Rivers couldn't do that. I have a great monologue from a friend of mine, SoE Sportz. He went in on Doc, and I absolutely agree because, like, man, and then when you start looking at the totality of Doc's career, he got that Coach of the Year at Orlando. But man, he's really underachieved in a lot of big ways, from what I just described in the bubble to it blowing the series lead against the Lakers, and what was it? I think it was 2009 or something like that.
Has he ever been to the Doc Rivers? Been to the championship after the Celtics championship?
They went 3 times in a row. No, they didn't. They went 2 out of 3 years. In 2008 when they won, and then 2010 when they lost to the Lakers that time. But he hadn't even sniffed the finals since then. He had a bad run in Philly. After he left us, he had a bad run in Philly. He did win the NBA Cup with Milwaukee, but I mean it's not been great. So when you look at the totality of his career, and I'll be fair and say that the NBA is about Jimmys and Joes, not all your X's and O's, but there's something to it. You know what I mean? Like there's something to be said with the idea that this dude has blown so many series leads. He's underachieved with highly talented teams. That 2020 season should have been our championship. Which is why I don't blame LeBron and call it a bubble championship or a Mickey Mouse championship or some of that stuff they say, because if we had won it, you wouldn't have been able to tell me nothing. I'd still be celebrating that championship today.
Well,
look, man, I appreciate you joining us again, bro. SoE_Sportz. Now, that's the same on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, man, look.
Facebook don't have the underscore, but everything else has the underscore.
All right, so relatively the same. Again, I appreciate you joining us. For those that are joining us, first of all, shout out to Instagram because it's the people over there. My guy Marshawn Powell said happy birthday, and so did Mark Rideout, two really great friends of mine, man. Thank y'all so much, man. It definitely a day of love for me, so I'm excited about it. So now you mentioned something to me about wrestling. I know that wasn't on our list of topics, but I'm a wrestling fan. I used to be a closet wrestling fan. Now I am definitely I'm a proud, loud and proud, and still real to me, damn it, wrestling fan. Do you still watch wrestling?
Nah, I stopped watching wrestling. Like I stopped maybe like 2000, maybe when I got to high school, like 2009.
Okay, watching. Yeah, same. Cool. All right. So now when you were in junior high, you said 2009 is when you got to high school. God, that makes me feel old. Who was hot when you were in middle school?
Middle school, even elementary, I ain't gonna lie. Stone Cold, The Rock, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys. Who else?
Did you have a favorite?
Flip flop.
Okay.
I was Shawn Michaels when I was young. When I got a little older, I was like, okay, I like Randy Orton. I forgot about John Cena. You can't forget about John Cena. Yeah,
we can't. Yeah, it's because you couldn't see him. That's why you forgot him.
It was lit. Like back then, I don't know the writing, the whoever was the creative process, whatever. Back then, it was just lit. I know times have changed. We in the social media, phones era is different, but back then they had it, man. They had the antics, they had the storylines, the wrestlers. Back then, it was just like, yo.
One of the things I think about, and so what actually got me back into wrestling. So I like you. I stopped watching when I went to high school as well. And mainly because I started playing football more and I started thinking about football a lot. And so from that standpoint, like Monday nights, I was watching football instead of watching wrestling. And if I didn't like the game, then I'd flip over to it. I didn't have a favorite team for a long time. So I was just happy to watch wrestling. But one of the things that I hate that I missed when I went to high school was around the time that the Attitude Era was starting to kind of take off, really go on that rocket ride and from like 99 to 2000. So Stone Cold and The Rock were at their peak. So that was kind of interesting to me to go back and look at. One night, this was 2012, somewhere in there, I'm sitting down watching TV. I'm not liking the Monday night game that was on. And so I just decided I'm flipping through channels and I get the USA and there it is. There's WWE Raw. And I think, as a matter of fact, that night it was nostalgia night, and so they had brought back, like, I want to say Hulk Hogan was back, and some of like a bunch of the old wrestlers had made returns, and I just got the nostalgia hit me. I just got right back into it again. Like I had never left. And man, I happened to be working at a marketing firm at that time, and one of the things that I loved about WWE, and I stole a lot of my advertising tactics and marketing tactics from the WWE, because some of the stuff they do, the way that they drum up your interest is still really, really impressive. Now that I'm older and I've worked in it, I've worked in that field, and I can kind of just spot like, hey, that's pretty smart. And like I said, but I just love the writing, the story writing, how they would write in and out of injuries, things like that. Kind of impressive to see that.
Yeah. It's still cool, but you gotta just know the new wrestlers if you're into it, if you're still into it.
One of the things that I think I feel this way about movies as well. Like, I don't like to watch trailers. Like, I cover my eyes. I don't want to know, because a lot of times the trailers now they'll give you the best part of the movie as the trailer. So like it kind of kills, you know what I'm saying? The same thing with wrestling. I said, to me, it's still real to me, damn it. So, you know what I mean? Like I'm a look, I want to watch the story and kind of believe that they, the stuff that's going on. So I don't need I prefer not to have the behind the curtain type things. I do get a lot of rumors from Bleacher Report, and some of it's good to know, like, okay, so he's hurt, so that's why he's out, or this is what they're going to do to make it all work, things like that. But at the end of the day, like I prefer to kind of not know all of that behind the scenes stuff. Like, I like the story as is. I don't want it to be ruined. But I do enjoy the writing, and I'll be honest, man, like it's not bad. Wrestling's not bad anymore, but like some of the stars they're not star-esque. Like Stone Cold was like head and shoulders above. You know what I mean? Like in today's wrestling game, Mick Foley would have been huge, because like he's just doing something that not a lot of people are doing. Like, there's not a lot of star power.
Yeah. You need I forgot the word for the wrestling. It's not charisma. You need like aura. Yeah. That's
absolutely it. And there's not. I mean, they're digging for it. So sometimes one of the things that really kind of kept me, interested in wrestling was the fact that some of these guys, like, you go back and watch some of these old school wrestlers and their stories and some of the things they went through, the history of them getting to the WWE. It was really impressive. The journalist in me loves the story that wrestling tells from time to time. And that's it. It's natural though. These are like, some of these people weren't really playing a facade. They weren't, there is some kayfabe to it, but they weren't playing a facade. This was really who like Ric Flair was really that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really was, wheeling and dealing, kiss stealing and all that stuff, man. Like, that was really dude. He really was spending that kind of money on suits and robes and all that. They would, what he said, there ain't but 10,000 a pop. You know what I mean? So like, but it's naturally who they were. Stone Cold said that same thing. That was kind of how he found his spot, because he had been wrestling for some time before he hit the world of Stone Cold. So, but it's natural. A lot of these people are fighting gimmicks, and you can tell it's a gimmick, and it's just not really them. And so,
back then they had it. Back then they were goated.
Yeah, and that's why to be fair, there was a lot of like misses as well. Kane came into the game as like Dr. Payne or something. He was supposed to be a dentist, and it was because he had like a dentist license or something like that. Like he was a super smart guy in real life. You know what I mean? But like he tapped into like that pain, and that's what kind of gave him his image that he had, and obviously it worked. So so look, man, before we go, I wanted to real quick again say thank you again for joining, man. This is a special day for me, and for you to jump on with me makes it even more special, man. I definitely appreciate it. Tell us one more time where we can find everything you're doing, and if there's any project, shameless plug time. anything you're working on in the future, let us know. This is a great time.
Yeah, you can always catch me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I'm not really working on nothing major, but I'm trying to get back on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm trying to do some things as well. I'm trying to collab. That's why I say I really appreciate you for really. This is really my first show doing. So I very appreciate it. So I don't care what it is. And I'm trying to put out good stuff, man. Y'all put out good stuff as well, man. I've been, looking at y'all page and stuff like that. Follow y'all. And so I'm trying to collab with other, sports pages, whatever, just put my name out there, it's just go time, you only live once.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And the one thing I realized, like I said, starting this podcast, man, the one thing I realized is that your dreams are fleeting, so you got to chase them. That's a bar, but you got to chase your dreams as much as you can. Until you reach it, and then if you do reach it, you got to dream bigger.
It's cool. There's nothing wrong with failing. Like I think when we first start, we so scared to fail, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. Everybody can have some type of failure in their career. I don't care what you as a rapper, a content creator, podcast. There's always gonna be some ups and downs, but you only live once, man. You don't want to, live your whole life and regret like, man, I should have did the things I wanted to do. And it don't matter if you make it or not. If you enjoy it, have fun with it. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Hey, that look. So along with podcasting, and a shout out to Walton Latham that just joined us for a little bit, man. Outstanding producer and director. Big time guy. I'm sure he'll agree with what I'm about to say. One of the things that will always be my mantra is turn the camera on. When I did music, turn the mic on, record it, put it on wax. There's not a bad idea until you get it on wax or you get it on film. Before then, you're not failing at that point. You're just doing the work you have to do to get there. If you fail, then get up, dust yourself off, and try it again, man. And I'll tell you this, I encourage you as well, because what I found in film production is the same, man. Turn the camera on, do your thing. Get your idea. You got your idea. Throw it in Chat GPT. Whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? However you create, make it. And then if it sucks afterwards, it's all right. It's okay.
It don't matter. You never know, man. Like you never know what your God-given talent is, man. It's cool if you fail, make it. It don't matter, man. Everybody face adversity. I don't care if your favorite player or whatever. Everybody face adversity. It's just life. You just gotta manage F it and just go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Go around it, man. Go around it, go under, go over it, go through it. Whatever you gotta do. That's for sure, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you one more time, man. At SoE_sports on Instagram and TikTok. SoE Sportz with a Z, by the way. Make sure y'all put that Z in there and find my man. He's got great content, great work, man, and a great show. Appreciate you joining us, man. Anything else before we go?
Everything is good. I was gonna ask you one question.
What you got?
Are you into Marvel or DC?
All right, so I love both stories. But I pick Marvel. If you gun to my head, you say Marvel or DC, I'm going Marvel because they took their sweet time. They took 10 years to tell this awesome story. Through 3 phases. And I know they had a bunch more, and phase 4 got derailed because of COVID, and phase 5 got even worse because a lot of it was, I think, supposed to be based off of Black Panther and so forth. And Chadwick Boseman dying really took a lot of that away. But them first 3 phases were unreal, man. 30 just outstanding stories standing alone, right? If you took Iron Man 1 or 2 or 3 by itself, they're a great story, right? But then you put it all together, you weave everything in. That was really, really impressive. DC has told the same story. How many times do we got to watch Bruce Wayne's parents die? That was the thing, the first thing for me. And then after that, when they got to Justice League, I thought Justice League was pretty good, but it felt rushed, especially when you look at 20, well, they did what I want to say was like 11, 12 movies before they got to the Avengers, and then how each one of them interwove into it was really. That story. Say it again.
Justice League could have been better. It was good, but they was missing a few characters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that was the thing when you look at the MCU and what they did, and again, that was another storyline that where I was really impressed with how they wrote in and out of stories, writing in and out of contracts. There's a look, man. We can go another 45 minutes if you talk movies, but like when I think about Robert Downey Jr., what his redemption story was in the middle of all of this, right? But also, there was so he did too well. And Marvel didn't want to pay for him to stay in the MCU, and they had somebody else in mind to be Tony Stark. And it took Stan Lee saying, "Pay that man," essentially, because Stan Lee still had it wasn't like overall rights of production, but from what I understood was that like he had the power to pull the plug if they did anything that he felt like was contrary to the work that he had created. And so and he had to pull that plug, he had to pull that card because they didn't want to pay Tony they want to pay Robert Downey Jr. To be Tony Stark's anymore after because I felt like I guess they were just trying to save money or something, but and so he was like, man, that's this guy embodies Tony Stark's. You have to pay him. And so that was interesting. Now, and again, I try to avoid the rumors. I know that Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom.
He is.
And I'm interested to see how they're gonna do it. But I've been walking like when I go to the movies with the fam, man. I got my eyes covered. I don't want to see nothing else. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Just let me. But it's gonna be interesting to see how they tie it all back in. So that should be interesting. But man, what the MCU has done is that is gold. I'm talking, pure gold.
I'm DC though. I'm diehard DC.
Okay, tell me why.
Justice League, the cartoon, the animated 2001.
Okay, yeah,
that's my first introduction to them.
Now, and see, and this was the thing. So when it came to the cartoons, because there weren't in Little Rock where I grew up, man, we didn't watch a lot of there wasn't a lot of Marvel cartoons on. There was Spider-Man, and then there was the X-Men, and that was kind of all I knew. DC dominated the cartoons. That Batman animated series was legendary. And so it was kind of hard for me to again, while I thoroughly enjoyed watching that, it was hard to want to see it again in a movie form. Whereas Marvel was really, really new to me because I'd never really watched much Marvel. I'd seen, and even still, when they first started producing it, I watched the Hulk sucked. The first Hulk movie in 2003 was trash. It was so bad I got into a fight with my roommate about it. It was terrible. And so then what I realized is that the Hulk was only meant for 30 minutes at a time, not 2 hours. And then but after the Hulk, then they did the one in 2008, and that was kind of better. Iron Man was great. But I still was late to the train, and I just started watching it. Real quick before we go, let me say hi. This is the angry Puerto Rican. G, Ed, the angry Puerto Rican, G of SoE Sportz.
What's going on, bro? What's going on, man? I'm late to the party, man. I'm late to the party. My bad.
It's cool.
It's been a long time. Ant's been, so this is my co-host, man. We started this show, and this is episode 68. Are you aware of that? Episode 6. So we started, yes. So a year and a half ago, we started going live, man. Now I'll tell you, my Instagram page is about 7 years old, something like that. And it started not too long ago. I want to say it was either March or May, something like that. I started posting memes and stuff. But I'd done a couple pods with Ant and a couple folks from back home where I'm from. And man, like I said, we were just missing. I was missing podcasting and broadcasting, and And so we started going live actually during the finals of 2024. Was that who won it? Was that was that the Celtics and the Mavs and okay.
Yeah, it was the Celtics.
The Celtics and the Mavs.
Celtics and the Mavs.
That finals. Then we started going live.
Before we go. So first off, I'm a Washington Commanders fan. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not a New York Jet or Giant fan. I'm a New York Knick by heart, always and forever. I love the New York Liberty. I love the New York Liberty. I love the New York Rangers. Don't like the Islanders. I hate every team Boston. So if you bring up anything Boston, I will not credit you on anything that you say, and even if you've given me facts, I'm probably gonna tell you straight up, it don't matter. F Boston. So just tell you right now, I don't care if you call it Tom Brady the GOAT. He just recently got on a podcast and said that WWE is soft, and he didn't like SAWFT soft. Now we're good. Yo, Tom Brady, you can go bye-bye. We're good. You're not a GOAT anymore. Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, those are my GOATs. You don't have a place in my history at all. I don't care how many rings you won.
What about Terry Bradshaw?
Terry for Pittsburgh. No, I'm not. See. I know what you're doing here. So me and him lost the bet. So yes, man, that's such a great idea.
Tell him the bet.
So
the bet was because
basically, if I lost this bet, I'm supposed to literally tell him how good the Pittsburgh Steelers are for an entire year. Once the season starts, I can go back to whatever I want to. But right now, he's got the greatest team in the history of the world right now. It sounds crazy.
First the 6 rings.
Bradshaw is the greatest QB in the world.
Hey, man. Hey, man, that just made my birthday. I forgot
for you, man.
What's up?
Happy birthday, by the way, man. I just want to say happy birthday, my co-host, my brother. I'm glad I get to do this and get on here, man, and just say happy birthday to you. You look 16. You're acting like you're 21. So I think life is great for you right now.
Yeah,
love you, bro. Appreciate it.
Nah, man. From the bottom of my heart, man, I love you, man. Yo, you are my co-host. It wouldn't be the Fanatics Sports Talk without you, and it wouldn't be the same without me. Together, we make it rock. I love you, man. Happy birthday, man. I hope you have an amazing dinner. I hope you eat all the catfish, plates down there in Louisiana. I hope you come across a LSU fan and you can look at them and go, hey, man, I'm not really from here. I really want you to just tell them that one day where they can just look at you, because they probably might think you from the Bayou, but you ain't from the Bayou. You from the Hogs. You from Arkansas.
Your fingers, not jazz hands. So
I'm just saying, so I'll keep it real. But gee, man, I got a question. Question for you. Who are you a fan of?
Oh, I'm a diehard Carolina Panthers.
Oh my God, that's so dope. Okay, diehard. So what do you think about your wide receiver who likes to eat squirrels?
Hey, man, I don't care about the country stuff. I don't care about none of that. He got to perform, man. I'm a fan of Leggett, but bro, you let undrafted Jalen Coker receiver outperform you, man. We drafted you in the first round. An undrafted receiver, Jalen Coker, is outperforming you right now.
I had a question. So the way you saying that, so that makes me think that you're not on board with your quarterback?
No. I believe in Bryce. No. I rock with Bryce.
Everybody loves Bryce.
Yeah. I rock with Bryce. He has some struggles early in his career, but now I see it when it's on. Yo, you seen that game against Atlanta? I went through almost 500 yards. When Bryce is on, man. I see why he got drafted number 1. I see why. I see it now.
I,
He just
So, do you think that you need to draft more on this year coming up? I know you watched the, NFL Combine, all of that. Do you think, as a Carolina Panthers fan, do you think you should be drafting more on your defensive side, or you should, add a little more pieces on the offensive side, offensive lineman, maybe a tight end? Because I think Strange should be a wide receiver, not a tight end. But that's just my opinion. No, that's Jaguars. Sorry, my bad. Um,
they're
y'all
tight.
need help.
I think our roster is pretty solid. I think the O line, they spent money in the free agency when they got Robert Hunt. Solid. Iki Kwanu, the left tackle, first round. He got hurt.
Yeah.
He just got hurt. But solid first round pick. Our O line is solid. We just drafted Terry McMillan, T-Mac from Arizona.
Yeah.
Star receiver.
Can I keep it real with you? I'm not a fan of T-Mac, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm not.
Okay.
He didn't show me anything in the first year. He got outplayed by the guy that eats squirrels. Y'all have no running back. This is the thing. Yes, he did. He got
Rico
outplayed.
Dowdle.
Nah,
Wait. Hey, is Dowdle staying? Is Dowdle staying?
I don't think so.
Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys should be smacked in the fucking mouth. Excuse my language. Put another fucking dollar in the square jar for your mama, Bloka. If you don't want to get cursed out, I'm gonna get mad at me during this June cookout. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. Rico legitimately showed y'all why y'all should have kept him. They why it was stupid as hell. He showed and proved. Now here's my thing. Can he show me that next year? If he can show me that next year, I will believe in his running back abilities. But he had an offensive line with the Dallas Cowboys and showed shit. But with a less offensive line, look at what he did for the Carolina Panthers. Y'all need offensive linemen.
Right. So I agree with G. I actually like, so looking at this Panthers depth chart right now, right? And here, hold on, I'm finna share screen and put it on. Shout out to ESPN. Don't kick me off the. Don't kick me. Don't ban my video because of this offensive line is actually pretty solid.
You're the greatest Pittsburgh fan I've ever met in my life. I hate
they're a good team.
I think this year in the draft, I think we need some linebackers and more edge rushers.
A little bit of get the pass rush back for losing Brian Burns. Brian Burns, that was crazy that y'all traded Brian Burns. It worked out defensively. Y'all are really good still defensively. But they traded Brian Burns for a washing machine. What was your thoughts on Nick Skowron?
I was about to ask the same question because I'm like, I've never met a Carolina Panthers fan, so this is kind of unique to me. It's kind of dope. Like
all the way from Miami. Yep.
That's what makes it most interesting.
Like, how do you feel about losing Brian Burns, knowing he went where he went, and you guys actually still kept an actual really good squad going into the later of the season, the latter of it? The last 6 games, I think you guys were holding opponents to like 15, 16 points a game, which is pretty actually good, considering your team didn't start off that way.
Yeah. Now that Dan Morgan, he was a Carolina Panthers back in the day. He's a GM now, man. He makes great moves, great draft moves, great free agent signings. Yeah. He's starting off good as a GM. He's starting off good, Dan Morgan.
I'm interested in everything.
Say again?
Would you change your first round draft pick if you had an opportunity to change your first round draft pick and not get Bryce Young? Who would you get? And answer that as an actual, not as a fan, but as a GM running the Carolina Panthers.
If that was that year, I would have took CJ Stroud. I would have. But looking back at it,
Now, hold on, wait, Bloka, we ain't been on it a long time, so I'm gonna talk real quick.
Stroud went with
Sorry, I'm cutting you off. So, if you are taking CJ Stroud, where would you put Sean? Where would you want him to go if you're the GM of your team and you just said you're drafting CJ Stroud
Yeah,
and not the overall first pick because you know he was drafted there, but
yeah.
if you take that and you just say, hey, where would Bryce Young fit in that year? Where would you have sent him and where would you have picked him up at?
I think he's still been a top 5 pick. Quarterbacks in the NFL, you need a quarterback. What he did at Alabama, don't get me wrong. What he did at Alabama was gangster. Like, only thing with Bryce, he's just short. You know what I'm saying? But he's not the first short quarterback.
Doug Flutie was short. Hey, look, keep in mind, Doug Flutie was short. Russell Wilson is short. Russell Wilson is 5'11".
Drew Brees.
Oh, those are pretty good. Those are pretty good names.
Right, so like, it doesn't really matter.
See how this is where you cut him off and you tell him about Russell Wilson because he's saying, "Hey, oh, Russell Wilson didn't do nothing. Russell Wilson won a winning." Sorry,
No.
He did it.
Russell Wilson did something. Doug Flutie didn't do anything.
Doug Flutie still a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong. If you want to argue with me, tell me I'm wrong about my quarterbacks.
Oh, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's in, but
right now.
I would. Okay. Speaking of Kyler Murray, since you brought him up,
hold on. Let me ask you. Do you remember that quarterback that played for the Buffalo Bills?
Which one?
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, well, that's
Exactly.
that's my point.
Jim
That's my
Kelly.
point.
You remember? You remember his name was Jim Kelly,
Yeah,
and
what
they
about
considered him one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. But he couldn't get the job done, and he still hasn't gotten an actual Hall of Fame recognition. He hasn't gotten any Hall of Fame thoughts. Thought out. Hey, man, maybe Jim Kelly should be a Hall of Famer. No, but Russell Wilson will get an actual Hall of Fame. Drew Brees, and they're short. They're 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". So don't ever talk to me about who's short quarterbacks ever again, Bloka.
boo short quarterbacks?
I know it's your birthday.
I
but
don't
you
like
were
short
getting your ass
quarterbacks, and
kicked
I don't
today
like
on this
left-handed
debate.
quarterbacks. Yeah, right.
You don't like left-handed quarterbacks? Mike Vick Mike Vick not up there as one of the best left-handers to ever play the game.
Yeah, but here's the deal: there's only been 2 left-hand quarterbacks to start the Super Bowl.
You said,
and only one of them has won a Super Bowl, and only one left-hand quarterback won a Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this question, G. Let me ask you this question, man.
What's up?
So you want Mike Vick? Would you want Mike Vick? Or would you want Lamar?
Lamar. I'll take
You.
Lamar.
How old are you? How old are you?
32.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Man,
He's still wet behind the ears. Gee, I'm so sorry, man. I'm gonna talk my shit real quick.
Nah,
man, it's Mike Vick all the way.
All right, so I'm a Mike Vick fan.
If you take Mike Vick out of that situation with the Dogs, and he's still getting that money and with Arthur Blank with Atlanta and playing the way he's playing, you're looking at one of the best to ever do it, running and throwing the ball. Look what he did when he was with Philadelphia in a short-term understanding of the offense. Look what he did with a fast receiver on the outside. Just it. Everybody on the chat, everybody that's going to watch this here soon, I want y'all to understand, Mike Vick was a beast. Mike Vick is probably one of the best left-handed quarterbacks to ever play the game. And I will say this, I know Steve Young was left-handed. He's better than Steve Young, even though he won a ring. Don't care. Better than Steve Young, because what he did on the field changed the game. Your defense had to be able to figure out if he was going. You had to put a spy in that box every single time.
You couldn't spy Mike Vick. He was too good.
There's no way. Now you can spy Steve Young.
Yeah,
Right now, look, here's my thing. In today's era, you can spy Steve Young, and right now in today's game, you can spy Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson ain't going for what he was doing. Sorry.
I don't know. All right, so look, as a Steelers fan, let me reiterate that I am a fan of the team that I hate Lamar. I hate Baltimore. I should say that what Lamar Jackson does. First of all, you can't really spy Lamar Jackson, just like you couldn't spy Mike Vick. What you do is you contain rush, and you keep a spy, and you hurry and you drop 8, and you crowd the passing lanes, and make him throw it to the outside. That's what you do to Lamar Jackson. And even then, you saw what he did to us week 18 of the season, where we barely, by the skin of our teeth, won that game. So
I'm confused. Why do you keep bringing up the greatest team in the world? You're bringing up the greatest team in the world in the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'm not understanding why that's relevant to this situation, because you say,
I'm telling you, I watched Lamar Jackson.
I love how you're telling the chat that you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but we don't need to know you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. The chat doesn't need to know that you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
It's important. It sets the precedence that
exactly. See,
I know how to stop.
Thank you, G.
I know my defense knows how to stop Lamar Jackson. Nobody else's defense does, and it's still hard for us. Lamar Jackson he might finish his career.
You haven't had a losing season since 2006. You guys have the longest record, the longest streak in history. In the history of NFL, to make the playoffs every single year. No, it was 2003. The longest year before that, no, it was 2003. I looked it up. My bad. 2003. But the longest current streak that you guys have, losing in the first round every single time. So you can sit here and you can tell me about your team. They're the greatest team in the world. I will give you that. But you're going to sit here and tell me you're going to take Lamar Jackson and you hate the Ratbirds. You're going to tell me you're going to take Lamar Jackson. I would build around Mike Vick before I build around Lamar Jackson.
I don't think you have to build around Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is the whole offense.
And guess what? You got to build around Mike Vick because he's too good of a player. So you need to put people around him so you have star players. So thank you again, number one, for answering my question. Number two, for answering the actual question that I just said and actually rebuttaling that. Thank you. Man, happy birthday to you, Bloka.
I'm just telling you what I saw, what I see from Lamar Jackson. It's scary.
I'm sorry, I'm calling it like it is. But basically Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are the same quarterbacks, just different colors. They can't get it done in the playoffs. I don't want to hear shit.
I actually think Lamar is better than Josh Allen.
And you can say that, but they both won an MVP. One's got 2, the other one's got 1. Still can't get it done in the first round, second round of the playoffs. They always, when they come to the playoffs, they shit the bed.
Yeah, but I mean, who are they losing to? That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT.
Okay,
right?
Let me ask you. Hey, G. No, hold on. I'm asking you this question. G, did you watch the playoffs? Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the entirety of the playoffs?
Yeah.
All right. What were your thoughts on the Patriots? Patriots going all the way, the way they did.
They played against CJ Stroud. He was struggling. I'm not gonna say nothing away from the Patriots, but they played a Broncos team with a backup quarterback. So when they won the game, 10-7, I think.
Yeah, it was an ugly game. It was a terribly ugly game.
Yeah, they did have a soft schedule, but they had a great roster as well. They had a good run. I don't care, they don't make the schedule. They just play. So we can't take nothing away from the Patriots. But it wasn't clearly they wasn't gonna be Seattle.
Yeah, that was a really, really, really great team, Seattle. And look, the Patriots are in a spot because I believe, and I said this about 6 months ago in a game that I'll have to have you back on when the season starts to play this game, man. It's called Contender or Pretender. And so I put the Bills into the pretender role because I think that their Super Bowl window is up. I don't think Josh Allen is. I think he's a great quarterback. I don't think he's good enough to get to a conference championship or get to a Super Bowl. And certainly, I don't think he's good enough to win it. So for me, it just feels like if you put Josh Allen in the conference championship, I don't think he's going to go any further. And I think that the Patriots, with good coaching, they got a great quarterback or a good enough quarterback. I feel like that they'll be good again next year, and they'll probably go back to they'll probably go back to winning the division over and over again. Real quick. One thing he brought up that I forgot to mention, I kind of got excited talking about basketball. We forgot to talk a little bit about the NFL draft. Are there any players in the draft that you saw that you felt like were really strong, or that they moved up or went down any way? Anything with that?
I've been hearing the name Lemon, the receiver from USC.
Yeah,
I've been hearing them a lot. They say he's like, I don't know, the next big thing at receiver. I seen a couple names. Obviously, the quarterback Mendoza and what's the other quarterback? I know we got Ty Simpson from Alabama.
Right, and then there was
Carson Beck.
Yeah, Beck. That was
Carson Beck could be an interesting draft pick. I don't think you got to take him in the first 2 rounds, but he could be a solid.
If you get him outside of the second and the third round or lower, I think you're gonna get a steal at quarterback. I think that in the right system. With a really good defense now, and you look at a team like the Vikings who need a quarterback, the Cardinals need a quarterback, but there's a couple different teams where if you get the right quarterback in that system, they're really going to turn it around. And I think Carson Beck, he's got good size, he's got good speed, he's a talented athlete. We just gotta, I think he folds under the big lights. We saw that in Georgia with him. But even still, I say all that, and he was 2 plays away from having Miami win another championship. So, and that's against a really good Indiana defense. Go ahead.
Now he got the qualities. He probably like 6'3". I don't know how tall he is, but he's
like 6'3", 6'4". Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he got potential. We'll see.
I was really impressed with most of what I saw from him, especially this time in Georgia, and for him to get them back to the national championship in Miami was really, really impressive. Now I know that defense was really good as well, but look, you got to put the ball in the end zone. Somebody's got to hand it off to the running back, and and he did the job he was asked to do, and so it was pretty impressive. Well, look, man. Again, I definitely appreciate you joining. It's definitely staying, a little overtime for Anthony to jump on, man. Anything else you got? Anything? Tell the people one more time where they can find you before we get out of here.
Yeah, you can always catch me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and YouTube soon once I get everything situated.
Man, look, and as I always say to everybody that joins us, man, because I feel like if you come on my show, your family, if there's anything I can do for you, whether helping you out with YouTube or broadcast or anything, man, hit me up, man. You got my number and Instagram, so you can always hit me, man. I'm definitely happy to help, bro.
Yeah,
I'm definitely happy to help.
Yeah, lock me into
absolutely, man. Definitely, man. Well, I appreciate you again for joining us. Thank you to everybody that joined us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, man. It's a pleasure having y'all on for, as I like to call it, Bloka Day, my birthday, man. Thank you all for joining us. And as I always say, man, tough times don't last. Tough people do. Thank y'all for watching the Fanatics.